Guys, it is Wednesday, so you already know what is up. It is rezero day. And I got a question for y'all. Do you love the action episodes more? Do you love the horror episodes more? Or do you just love these slice of life lore episodes? Which one do you love the most? Honestly, it's all peak, so who really cares? This episode is still a banger. They don't miss, guys. They don't miss. 20 minutes of Subaru and the gang just standing around, chatting, making plans, falling into books, dropping big spoilers. Anybody catch the spoilers that they were dropping this episode? They said some names and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe he just said that. Guys, rezero is here and it is here to stay, man. Holy, every Wednesday it is peak. It doesn't matter if Subaru's dying, it doesn't matter if Subaru's crying, and it doesn't matter if Subaru is laughing. It's all peak. It's all peak. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and today we are talking rezero season 4 episode 5. Guys, let's just jump right into the episode. We pick up with the events of last episode where our group got access into the library and they're here. They're in the library. They're basically just trying to figure out what's going on, what's the purpose of the library, you know, because they're picking up the books and they can't read the books, right? Like all the letters are moving around. So they're kind of just in shock, like, what's going on here? Like, it's a big old library, but we can't read anything. So what? This is when Subaru, he picks up a book and he just falls right inside the book, right? And we get a flashback and it's to the witch of pride, Tiffon, right? And her backstory is kind of, well, it is super interesting, but it's like just chopped, you know? So she basically grows up with a father, right? And her father is this executioner guy. And he pretty much instills in her this black and white view of morality, right? Of good and evil, right? And she doesn't really grasp the concept, right? Until this like one day when he comes in after she spilled the vase and she apologized, right? And she admitted to it and her father forgives her, you know, because she admitted to the crime. So she comes to this weird realization that those with guilty hearts deserve to be punished, right? So then she starts asking people the next time she's watching the hanging session, and she's like, are you an evildoer, right? And if they have guilt in their hearts, they just die, right? So this girl starts asking everybody, are you an evildoer? And she just kills everybody in the vicinity, including her own father. You know, like, it's mad. Her judgment is crazy. You know, I think Subaru says it the best, you know? It's the most innocent cruelty. You know what I mean? Like, the way she judges and passes her judgment, it's crazy, you know? But boom, this is when the flashback's over and Subaru is like, whoa, you know? He comes out of the book and he's like, yo, I know her. Like, that was Tiffon, right? Like, I've met her before. That was the Witch of Pride. And he's basically explaining like who she is. And guys, this is when Julius, he comes out of a book that he just read too. And the name that he gives us was Balleroy Temaglyph. Bow! I saw that and I was like, what? What? Guys, okay, spoilers, jump ahead if you're not reading the web novel. I'm not really going to spoil anything crazy, but still spoilers. Where I'm at in the web novel right now, Subaru's in Wallachia, and there's a whole thing going on with the Wallachian Empire and blah, blah, blah. But Balleroy is like one of the 9 divine generals in Wallachia. The guy is OP. He's strong as shit. Actually, where I'm at in the story, he's like one of the opposition, you know? He's one of the you-know-what. I don't want to say too much, but he's one of those guys. So to see that they're dropping his name this early in Arc 6, I'm like, bro, damn. Tape, the guy is a genius. He knew what he was doing, bruv. He knew what he was doing. He was setting down those stones. Crazy work. I can't believe we got the name drop. I was like, damn, like, did y'all catch that? Anyway, sorry for spurging out, but I was like, damn, that's crazy work. I can't believe so early on in the story. But this is when, after the Balleroy thing, Julius and Subaru, they basically come to the conclusion that these are people who have died, you know? The Witch of Pride, Balleroy. Julius said that he actually had some battle with Balleroy that nearly killed him, you know? That Julius beat Balleroy? Bro, Julius is strong as shit, bro. My bad. I might have been looking down a little bit on Julius, but, bro, I ain't know all that. I didn't know he was moving like that. Holy, taking out divine generals? Bruv. But the books, it seems that they can only be read by somebody who knows the person who's dead, right? That's why Julius was able to read Balleroy's book. Subaru was able to read Tiffon's book because they met way back in Arc 4, you know? So it's kind of like a weird library, right? It's like a library of the dead, and it's huge. Everybody who's ever died, past, present, they are there somewhere in the library. Like, it's huge, right? So they're kind of confused because now they're like, how are we going to get the information that we need? Like, A, you'd have to know the person who died to even read their book. And then B, you have to know the person who actually has the information you want, you know? And it's got every single person who's ever lived. So it's like, how are you about to, like, yeah, you're about to sift through every book that you may know even, you know? But this is when Subaru and Meili, they sit down and they start having a little chatty chat. You know, and we find out a little bit more of Meili's backstory, which is actually kind of sad, you know? Basically, her parents just, like, ditched her when she was a kid, right? And it was pretty much because of her divine blessing, which is the ability to make friends with mob beasts, right? Imagine that. Honestly, I could see why, you know, like, imagine like you give birth to like your daughter and she's like coming home with like the mob beast from the forest, you know, it's like moshing up the whole village and she's just laughing because like she's friends with them, you know what I mean? Like, you can't really blame the parents, bro. Like, that one is kind of chopped still. That one's kind of chopped. But it turns out they ditched her in some forest and a mob beast raised her. And she considers the mob beast like her mother, like her actual mother, you know? Subaru's asking her about her parents, and she's like, to be quite frank, I don't give a fuck about my parents, you know? She's like, no hard feelings, like, no nothing, you know? Like, the mob beast is my mother, though, you know? Then Meili says something very interesting. And for anybody who's anybody who's read Arc 6, you know, I bet that y'all were laughing too, because when Meili said this, I was dying, you know? She was like, you know, like, my parents don't really interest me, but what does interest me is how books appear in the library, you know? She's like, if you died right now, like, would your book just pop up in the library? Which I guess is like a valid question, you know? Like, I guess, like, how do they pop up, you know? But, you know, if you know, you know, like, that was crazy, you know? But anyway, anyways, so basically our group is at a impasse right now, right? They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go next. They're basically just stuck in the archive with a bunch of books of the dead that they can't read, right? So Betty's like, let's just go take the next exam, right? There's supposed to be like 3 of them. So Subaru asks Shala, and he's like, where's the entrance to the next exam? And craziness, the keeper of the watchtower doesn't even know where the entrance is, right? She's like, I have no idea. I've never been higher than the 4th floor, right? And everybody's like, what? Like, we're confused now. And this is when Anastasia starts grilling her a little bit. And Anastasia actually brings it out of Shala that there's 5 secret rules that Shala was given. And she ain't even tell the gang. You know, like, she ain't tell them nothing. Mind you, she made that promise to Subaru in the beginning of the series when they first got to the watchtower. And he made her promise that she wouldn't harm him or any of the gang. But wait till y'all hear these rules, because that promise is null and void, okay? Here's the 5 rules. If they try to leave the tower without telling Shala, she'll smoke them mercilessly. Those are her words, verbatim, okay? The only way you can leave this tower is if you pass all 3 exams, you know, and you get to the 1st floor. Then, if you violate any of the rules of the exam, that's forbidden, you know? So you can just assume some bad shit's gonna happen, right? Either it's Shala or something else, right? We don't know what that something else is, right? Shala does say at some point that she'll turn into like a giant killing machine monster, okay? So just keep that in the back of your mind too. The 3rd rule, disrespecting the archive is forbidden. So if you have somebody that you got a grudge against, you're not allowed to piss on their book of the dead, okay? Leave that shit alone. No spitting, okay? No littering, no loitering, no loud noises, okay? And the 4th rule, any action to cause damage to the tower is strictly forbidden, okay? This must be like a sacred tower built with extinct rocks or something, okay? Minerals from the stars, because apparently the tower is a blessed sacred artifact not to be touched, right? And the 5th rule is nothing. I don't know. Maybe. The way she says it, there's a little bit of vagueness and hesitancy. So if there is a 5th rule, don't be surprised. There may be a 5th rule. But this is when Emilia, of all people, she gets to thinking about how the person who made the tower must have been a horrible person, dishonest, and an idea pops up in her head, and she goes back downstairs, right, to the floor 2, and she opens up one of the doors, and there's the staircase to the next exam, right? And they're all laughing. Well, not laughing, but they're just cursing Flugel, you know, because they're like, who made this? Like, what is this guy's deal, you know? Again, Subaru comes from a different world. So that he made a watchtower that nobody can really seem to navigate except for him, yeah, I don't know, Subaru's Flugel, you know, it's true. But they basically get upstairs and they get to the next exam room. And again, they walk into another big white room, heaven room, and instead of a monolith this time, it's a sword, right? So Subaru goes to pull out the sword, and when he pulls out the sword, they're transported to this green plain, this green field, luscious field. And there's a man standing in front of them. Young man, eye patch, red hair, wonder who it could possibly be. Shala starts freaking out, okay? He starts repeating the same thing over and over. And then he starts like glitching out. Like he's trying to break free of some kind of programming. And then he just starts talking. And the guy's pretty rude. You know, he's pretty abrasive. He looks at the girls, he goes, hot, sexy, brat, follower, pussy. Like, you know, they're trying to get answers out of the guy, and he's like, I already told you everything. Fuck you guys, losers. Come at me. Come at me. Try to make me move, even an inch. You know? And this is when Julius steps up to the plate. And Julius gives his name and gives his titles. And this man, he gives us his name. He's a stick swinger. Bow-bow! Bow-bow! Next episode is gonna be crazy, bro. Are y'all ready for next episode? We're about to see a beatdown. Oh my God. Yo, say some RIPs right now for Julius, bruh. Because next week we're about to hear all the Julius is a fraud allegations, bruv. They are about to come, and they're about to come a knocking. They're about to come a rocking. Okay? I'm super amped for next episode. We're gonna get a little action, maybe a lot of action. I don't know, but there's definitely gonna be some action. There's gonna be some fighting. There's gonna be some beating down. I love the lore they be dropping on us, guys. And they be so just casually dropping in names and shit from like future arcs. I'm like, oh my God. I love it. I love it. They really do be doing shit for the fans, man. Ah, rezero. Literally the best. Literally the best. Let me know what y'all thought below. Comment down below. What was your favorite part of the episode? Who's ready to see Julius get his shit rocked next week? I don't think y'all are ready for it. My man's is about to get smoked. And it's not even like a fair match, bruh. It's crazy work. Bruh. Thank y'all for watching. If y'all stayed this long, hit that subscribe button, guys. We are going to be here all season long because rezero is just getting started, baby. We haven't even got to the meat and the potatoes of the season. And I feel like we've already just gotten so much. Just like, you know what I mean? Like, we've already got so much. And I'm like, damn, there's still way more and way worse coming. Like, don't lack. Don't lack. Because just when you start to think it's going to get a little easy, they're on a roll, like, oh, I'm going to tell you something. They are, oof. Fate just has a weird way of, you know, playing out, man. But let me know what you guys thought down below in the comments. I appreciate y'all all for watching. And I will be back with another one.